refund, please? This gun doesn't seem to work.
I don't know. Looks like it works to me.
Alright, Vault Hunters, September draws ever closer, and with it, co-op role-playing action shooter Borderlands 2. You're probably itching to get your boots back on the cel-shaded plains of Pandora and do some damage. So we're here to pre-brief you with the what's new, who's back, and how many guns do I get, with the help of Gearbox chief and loud shirt enthusiast Randy Pitchford, who promises you a game with double the budget and scale of the 6 million copy selling Borderlands 1.
We got kind of out of hand and got kind of out of control, and the game is more than twice as large as what Borderlands was. I mean, there's just so much, it's just such a big game, but it's a better game because of all the experience and quality we're able to put in through iteration instead of invention.
That's not to say there's no invention. There are new classes, new skills, new guns, of course, a new career-tracking badass rank system, and new locations. Right now, for instance, you're looking at Sanctuary, which is your first hub town in the game.
You led that claptrap here, but that I will never forgive you.
So Sanctuary is kind of an interesting, first of all, if you played Borderlands 1, you realize, wow, this is a more built-out city, it's a little more developed. It's not as high-tech and pristine as something you haven't seen yet, which is the Hyperion City of Opportunity. There's a lot more of Pandora than we saw in Borderlands 1. You know, we really made a conscious decision to prioritize the game loop. There's a story there, and we love our characters, and a lot of people love the characters, but we never got in your face with story. We never made you stop and listen to dialogue. We didn't do dialogue trees and things like that. But a lot of the story in Borderlands 1 came in mission text, where you read the text in the mission. Whereas in Borderlands 2, the characters are alive. You know, they have things to do. They're talking, they're emoting, and you hear them.
It's a living.
Son, this might sting a bit.
In Sanctuary, you'll catch up with old pals. There's Dr. Zed, Marcus, Scooter, and Mad Moxie, as well as Lilith and Roland, and Claptrap also.
You shall bring me the head of the destroyer of worlds, and then you shall get for my enjoyment!
There are new pals too, lovable new NPCs such as teenage bombsmith Tiny Tina, who is excellent.
I'm sorry!
And more importantly, the 4 new playable characters, and here they are.
The Gunzerker has a couple of different roles. One role is about being kind of the tank. Another way to build him, though, is about gunplay, and it's about focusing on just throughput and gun lust. And the skills in that tree are about keeping the fire rate up, replenishing ammunition, eliminating reloads, and you know, kind of really boosting up this power that he has to go gun-zerking wild, and he can carry 2 weapons at the same time and just unload them at a really high rate of fire, and it doesn't matter which 2 weapons you've got, whether you're carrying 2 rocket launchers or miniguns. None of this like dual-wielding pistols business. You can dual-wield anything in the game. In his tank class, he's got this skill. It's at the end. It's called Come At Me, Bro. And what you do is when your active ability's up, you're dual wielding, and then you hit your active ability button again, and he gives the double bird.
Then there's Axton, the commando, your workaday soldier, with a deployable, upgradable turret that he can lob onto the battlefield, so that's fun.
The assassin, Zero. There's a couple ways that you can play him. There's actually 3 different skill trees there. A couple of my favorites, well, there's one that's kind of like the ninja tree. I haven't played with that one very much, but it's really cool. That kind of focuses on him almost like a ninja. In fact, one of his more powerful skills near the end of his tree, while he's in his kind of ninja stealth mode, what he does is he can drop a decoy, and he goes invisible. And but he can basically throw these little throwing knives, you know, like ninja knives out. I was playing more with the kind of the one that kind of emphasizes his melee attack and his sword play. And there's a couple of skills that work really well together. One makes his melee attack gives you kind of a lunge, almost like the sword in Halo. When you get it just right, it'll actually zip you up to the guy. So imagine you're like you use your active ability, you go into stealth, you sneak up behind a guy, and you lunge at him. And then there's this other skill where when you get a kill, you'll reset your cooldown on your active ability, so you'll stay in stealth longer. And so like you kind of see a chain of guys and you go shoot, 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 shoot. I mean, you feel like you're out in Kill Bill or something. It's pretty badass.
Finally, there's Maya, the Siren, your replacement for Lilith from the last game. Her all-important action skill is the swirly power of Phase Lock, which holds enemies in place and through one of her skill trees can be augmented with all kinds of healing, reviving and health-stealing extras. Unlike in the original game, player classes center on the skills in each class's 3 talent trees, more than on the designated weapon specialities. So you're a bit freer to pick and choose guns, which is nice because as in Game 1, it's all about those guns. They're still procedurally generated, which means there are several gajillion of them, or at least there's several gajillion variations on some very cool boomsticks. The TDR brand is a special highlight in that it now features disposable weapons. When these guns are empty, you just toss them away, they go kaboom, and you get another one. There's also a nifty new elemental effect for your gun shooting known as slag. Slap this purple stuff on a bad guy and they'll take a bunch more damage from further gun shootery. Also new in Borderlands 2 is a clever bit of career tracking called Badass Rank, which is a kind of permanent leveling given to you as a player rather than to your individual characters.
You know, when we played Borderlands 1, for a lot of us it kind of became a hobby. The first time you max out a character that you've been playing a long time, when you actually get there and you make the decision, okay, I've got a max level character and I've built him out pretty much, you know, I've got like the best of the best, I've done everything, and now I'm going to go try one of those other characters. And when you do that, you realize you're making the decision to go back to square one. So we wanted to create something in game that kind of remembered your time in the Borderlands and gave you value for your time in the Borderlands as a player, as your profile, not just as the one character or any given character you chose. You'll have a badass rank. And everything you do will give you the opportunity to earn badass points. You know, overcoming challenges and things will give you badass points, and the more points you get, the more you rank up. And when you rank up, you can get badass tokens, and you can spend a badass token to actually increase some fundamental stats. And there's a whole selection of fundamental stats, and you can imagine what they are. Like an obvious one, for example, is the amount of damage you can do. It's like an RPG that's kind of meta. It's like leveling you up instead of leveling your character up. You know, typically in a Bethesda game, I get to go up like 20 or 30 levels. Right now, World of Warcraft has a level cap of 85. I don't know if any game like lets you go to 100. Well, in the badass ranks, you will go up hundreds and hundreds of levels. You'll go up hundreds and hundreds of ranks. You will go up thousands of ranks. There are going to be hardcore Borderlands 2 hobbyists that will go up tens of thousands of ranks, and they will get stats for that leveling up.
So that was the Badass Rank system, and that was your Borderlands 2 appetizer sampler. Game comes out in September, and we'll see you on Pandora.
Let me know when you're done with that job.